What do I believe? Who am I now? The truth will set me free. Who am I now?
Hello, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm John Froggett. I'm David and Adam's dad. And I wanted to do something to try and help businesses, not just businesses, but the people that run those businesses. I mean, what is a business? But people that run those businesses, and look at how to cope with the pressures of running a business, which extends slightly to the pressures, I guess, of being a human in today's uncertain world, where war, famine, food shortages, heating prices going up, God knows what else is going on. And I've over the last 3 years since I stopped working at the coalface, as it were, doing accounts directly, given a lot of thought to these things and had the time to sit and research and ponder the meaning of all this stuff, how we can perhaps try to live our lives in a better way, a way that gives us less anxiety and, dare I say, makes us happy, whatever happy is. So I want to just introduce you to the fact that I'm going to be doing these things, hopefully fortnightly, just covering subjects such as judgment, goal setting, self-care, considering things like death, pain, these things that we come across that we never really investigate or think about too much, and looking how to cope with anxieties, and drawing on loads of different information that I've had the pleasure to have the time to read and to research, and hopefully come up with a few answers that I personally try to live my life by, that you may want to try yourself, or it may just give you a good laugh, because my idea of what I think is how we should live our lives is probably something totally different to you. But likewise, I've also looked at loads and loads of things and come up with this sort of conclusion of various ways in which perhaps I need to look at things, non-judgmental, be able to listen, simple things really that perhaps we don't have time to think about. And in today's age, when we are being threatened with nuclear war, famine, loss of our heating in the winter, global warming, COVID, the list is endless. And I never remember a time when things were like this. Things have always, every generation goes through their ups and downs. I mean, my generation, we had the interest rates of mortgages going up to 15%, but the world was a different place. You can't compare. And in a world where we've got no guidelines anymore because no one really follows religion, our politicians are, I'm afraid to say, mediocre at best, you have to try and formulate some way of guiding your way through this mire in the best way that makes you, your family and your business thrive, or at least exist. So I hope you'll be able to join me on this journey. They're not going to be massively long videos, fairly short videos, and they'll probably raise more questions than perhaps we're giving answers, which, why do it, I guess. But just give us something to think about. And then maybe over the next few months, it may give us a chance for those that are interested, perhaps we can all come together and discuss these things and look at the way forward. And we're going to touch some really hard subjects as well. I want to look at, our philosophy to death and how we look at death and what we, as a Western society, it's something that's kind of a bit taboo. And as we know, Queen Elizabeth II died recently. Indeed, my own mum died a year ago. And my attitude to that was kind of not what I expected. So I think that as part of the journey, death is quite important. Buddhists looked at it quite importantly, just as one religion. I'm thinking of their shamanism, another. So people do look at these things and they have a different attitude than I think we do in the West. And I think it's important that we examine and look at those things. So I hope you can join me on this journey of discovery. I hope I'm not talking too much gibberish during the course of these chats. I will also try to give you a list of other things that you can look at and read, which I've done and taken my conclusions from. And maybe impart on you some of the things that are important to me in my life and the way in which I lead my day-to-day existence. So I look forward to doing the next video, and I hope you join me. And if you ever have any questions, please just email me, john@theaccountancypractice.com. I'll be happy to help, happy to talk. If there's anything you want to get off your chest, please do that as well. I think it's important that we all talk and we all, try to help each other out, because I think we're in for a really hard time, which is not a very uplifting message, is it? And I suppose I should try and leave you with something more uplifting than that. But it's how I guess we perceive those problems, how we take the information in, what information we look at, and how we, even our past will dictate to a certain extent how we view things. So there's areas that I want to look at and talk about. So I hope you can join me. Keep your eye open, and there will be some another video, hopefully, week to 2 weeks time. Thanks very much, and have a great couple of weeks. Thanks. Bye.